Africa has seen kings crowned in gold. Africa has seen generals crowned in blood. Africa has seen leaders who bowed quietly, while foreign hands signed away their nations. But once, for a brief, blazing moment in history, Africa saw a man who refused to kneel. His name was Thomas Sankara, and he would become the most dangerous kind of leader, an honest one, a child born under a flag that wasn't his. Thomas Isidore Nile Sankara was born on December 21st, 1949, in a small town called Yako. At the time, the country was not even called Burkina Faso. It was Upper Volta, a name given by France, because this land did not belong to itself. It belonged to a system, a colonial system that extracted wealth and returned poverty. His father, Joseph Sankara, served in the French colonial army. His mother, Marguerite, was deeply religious and disciplined. Thomas grew up in modest conditions: mud walls, dusty roads, long dry seasons. But even as a child, he noticed something strange. The land was rich. The people were not. Farmers worked endlessly, yet remained hungry. Government officials drove imported cars. Villagers walked barefoot. That contradiction, wealth without dignity, burned quietly in his young mind. The path he didn't take. As a boy, Thomas was thoughtful, calm, intelligent. His family believed he might become a priest. He attended a Catholic school. He studied religion. He respected faith, but something inside him felt unsettled. He saw suffering everywhere, and he began to question, is prayer enough? When injustice is armed, slowly he realized something powerful. He did not want to guide souls. He wanted to defend people, and that realization changed his destiny. The military as a door to power. In 1966, after political unrest shook Upper Volta, young Thomas saw instability up close. Governments were falling. Coups were becoming normal. In Africa during the 1960s and 70s, the military was not just about defense. It was about influence. At 19 years old, Thomas Sankara entered military training, not because he loved war, but because he understood something many did not. If change was going to happen, it would not come from polite speeches. It would require power, and power required structure. Madagascar, the fire ignites. In 1970, Sankara was sent to Madagascar for officer training. This is where everything changed. Madagascar was in turmoil. Students protested. Workers marched. Citizens demanded justice. The streets filled with voices. And something historic happened. The people rose, and the government fell. Sankara watched closely. For the first time, he saw ordinary citizens defeat oppression. It was not theory anymore. It was real. During this time, he began reading intensely. Marx, Lenin, Frantz Fanon. He studied colonial systems. He studied revolution. He studied Africa, and he reached a conclusion that would define his life. Africa is not poor. Africa is exploited. That idea became his weapon, the different kind of officer. When he returned home, Sankara was not like the other officers. He played the guitar. He loved jazz music. He formed a small band with fellow soldiers. He laughed easily. He spoke gently. But when it came to injustice, his voice sharpened. Other officers chased rank. He chased purpose. Other officers enjoyed comfort. He preferred simplicity. While many drove luxury vehicles, Sankara often rode a bicycle. Even before power, he lived differently, and people noticed. The war with Mali, a rising name. In 1974, Upper Volta fought a brief border war with Mali. It was not a major war, but it was significant for Sankara. He showed discipline, leadership, calm under pressure. He earned respect within the army. But the war also disturbed him. Two poor African nations, fighting each other, while foreign powers watched. It felt wrong. Why were brothers fighting, while dependency continued?